think you can hear me, but this is on a video share, so it's a bit of a complicated thing, but I'm not sure about the sound at the moment. I could start a new game here, but I want to see what the sound is going to be like, so I'm going to turn the music volume down, the sound volume down, because that's going to cause a lot of problems. And I don't think I want a high battle size either. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Let's see what we can do here and start a new game. We're going to go for a storyline campaign this time, because I always play sandbox usually, so we're going to... Let's go to this equipment normal leveling. Well, I don't think it really matters at this point. We'll just stick with most of it normal, but I think I'll put some of these in because I'm used to putting them on now, so pretty much all the realism things. Disable sync menu. Gore, definitely want gore. Ambient sounds, because I'm streaming as awesome as music is. And yeah, that looks good to me. I want more bandit parties as well. Fast tactical speed. Yeah, I think that'll do. So yeah, let's continue. So it says, we are in the 9th century. Long gone are the lights of Rome, absorbed by the tide of time. Yet several centuries remain until the golden age of knights and princesses to come. It is a brutal, dark and ruthless era of raw strength and survival where men go to bed every night praying to see a new day. It is the age of the Viking, the clans of Ireland, the ascension of Wessex, and the emergence of the kingdom of Alba. It awaits you. Now yeah, I'm not playing my main file because I want to do something different for when I'm streaming, but usually I play as a Norse pagan because I think that's one of the more interesting things to do. I'm not sure about being a Pict or a Frisian. Might be a Pict, I might be Irish, who knows. You can also be a foreigner. That's an interesting one because, like, from another area of the world, but I'm British, so I might be Britain. I'm not sure though. Picts are kind of interesting because they have some interesting weaponry. So that's fun, that's something. But fuck it, I'll just be a foreigner. And gender, male, height. Usually I go tall, so I'll be short, fuck it. I'll be young. Philogamatic. No. I don't know. It's interesting really because I'd say that I'm more of a melancholic person myself. Pretty much. So might as well go with what I am. And let's just go for justice. Because the rest of them, well, because I'm going to be a Christian this time, I'm not going to be a pagan. Because every time I'm a pagan, everybody hates me, so screw it. Should I be a priest? Like pure justice? Like that is pure justice right there. I could be a merchant, craftsman, noble's the best. But screw it, I'm going to be a humble priest. And martial arts, I'll be a monk. Or should I do something else like stealing? A priest who steals from people. That sounds like a good idea. Oh, no, that's my father's occupation. Priest. I see. So, stealing would make sense. I could steal from people. That's a great upbringing right there. But then I become a priest. And I'm a Christian. That sounds like a really good combination right there. So yeah. Foreigner, steals from people, and he's a priest. Great combination. So, I don't even know what I'll call myself for this. That's a tricky one. But as for points, well, looking at the way my points are spread out, I have a lot of agility. But I don't know if I want to be an archer. Like, agility I usually don't focus on unless I'm going archery. But I do have it, so I suppose Weapon Master's kind of handy if you've got the agility to spend on it, but it makes your shield better, I suppose, but got surgery, that's very good. Leadership's always handy, but we don't really have much for charisma. I know I can put some in, but yeah. Usually I focus on strength, but I think I'll keep strength a bit lower. Maybe I will focus on something else. Like, intelligence is not really... Most leader skills are charisma. That's the way it is, you see. So, ultimately you want the leader skills. That's what you want to invest in. Because only the leader can have leader skills. So, like, persuasion is like personal skill, but leaders will use it the most. Like, you can still like invest in it, but it's mostly used by leaders unless you're a monarch. It's like charisma is so important, so I'm just going to level up my charisma. Definitely. Gotta get that leadership up. Gotta get seeking up to a certain level. But I also want to maybe level up something else. Get some iron flesh. That's always handy. Power strike. And should have a point in trainer because it is handy. It's like 3 XP, so 2 points in trainer, and you get weapon maintenance if you're playing with breakable weapons. I'm not going to bother investing in that this time though. Instead, I'm probably going to focus on investing in maybe riding, because it's something that's quite important, so yeah, I'll put some in riding. As for proficiencies, I'm not even sure what I want to do. Like, do I want to use polearms for a change, or archery, or crossbows? I might try some polearms, because spears are pretty common. And now we get to the character creation, which I'm just going to see what I can do here. Randomize until I get something that I really like. Usually I'd spend hours doing this, but I don't want to bore people. I don't want them to look too, like, upper class. I want them to look a bit rough around the edges. So, that looks interesting. I'll go with that. It looks a bit weird, so. But I like how he's a priest. That's interesting. I might change the hair a bit, because priests tend to shave their heads. So yeah, I'll be a bald priest. Screw it. There we go. And make him look a bit younger. And we're ready. So yeah, I could read all this out, but I'm not going to. Let's begin. So at the start, we start off in the middle of the sea. And yeah, this is the story. For some reason it calls me Ether the Grim. Oh yeah, I didn't put in a name, did I? So I guess that's our name then. So yeah, I'm gonna need to be reminded. Yeah, bit of excitement. So yeah, this is basically Viking Conquest, which is, in case you're wondering, it's DLC for Mount and Blade Warband, which is the best Western RPG ever made, and you're about to find out why. So I need to talk to Bodo. I don't usually like to have him in my team because he doesn't get along with the best people. Right. Let's do some combat. This is pretty straightforward. Let's talk to the veteran. And yeah, we're going to just move straight on. And the combat of Mountain Blade is basically as simple as you're going to get: block and attack. A lot of people say that it's not good, but when you consider the many different types of blocking, it kind of is. Let's put it this way: a lot of people mention that the combat in The Witcher is like much better than this, but it's not. I can tell you that for a fact. Well, maybe not a fact, but I can tell you that for sure. Ah, I see. Vikings. Yes, I'm very calm. So yeah, we finally got our weapon, which is a little staff, and we got a little knife as well. He just jumped off the sea. Like, he just jumped off into the sea. But yeah, you can't win this fight's scripted, because they have Vikings. If you did win this fight, it'd be a bit weird. But I'm gonna make a attempt to beat them. But they're all gonna go for me now, aren't they? Whoops. Yeah, there's 2 versus 1 here. It's not going well. Yeah, I'm hitting them with a stick, but yeah. And yeah, it was impossible. And yes, we have been saved by a healer. You have been close to death, unconscious for 2 weeks. Docking, a fisherman found you near the coast, clinging to a plank. You were barely breathing and your body was covered with wounds. They brought you here so that I would heal you. Many like you have been here since the death of my father, leaving everything for the promise of the king, but I cannot give them. Sorry, but it's because my father died with him. Right. Right, so we have to talk to Conquest. Now, I haven't done the storyline in this game yet, so this is kind of new to me. But yeah, this is Viking Conquest. And there's already war being declared already. So yeah, where are we now? Looks like we're in Fries, which is the Netherlands. And what we need to do is... oh yeah, visit Dockinga. And yeah, we need to go to the village centre. And whoa, serious business is going on here. And yeah, we need to find this guy. Yeah, sure, why not? Whoopsie, that wasn't a good start. But yeah, to block, you can just... oh, whoops. You have to move the direction of the mouse, but if you can auto block in the single player, obviously... well, this guy's fast. Let's do another round. So yeah, move back with the mouse, stab, and let's do that. So yeah, basically you have to block in a certain direction, and that's where the combat gets challenging in this game, especially if you're playing on multiplayer. So yeah, let's get one more round in. And yeah, there we go. But yeah, that's how the combat works. Oh, do we keep the sword? I don't know. Here we are, phone quick. So, yeah. And well, aren't all Vikings murderers? Right. Right. Yeah, exactly. Let's do this. Party gains 39 morale. I don't even have anyone in the party. And yeah, let's recruit some people. Oh, really? Yeah, it's kind of annoying, is the whole recruitment system in this game. Oh yeah, that's why I don't have any money. How can I recruit anyone with no money? That's rough. The only thing I can think of doing is, well, buying supplies. But I can't even afford any supplies. Like buying chicken from here and selling it at Dorestad, that's probably the best thing I can do right now. But this game is pretty hardcore in how you make money and level up. It's not exactly easy. So let's triple the good merchant, and I'm not sure if I made any money there. No, I made 1 peninga. That's something, I suppose. Let's see if I can fight some thieves by myself. I don't know if I can, but here we go. Whoa! Looks like I've got the help from the nearby lord. which is good because I don't really have a good weapon. As you can see, I've just got this little Sikhs, I think that's what they're called. They're like basic, like before they had swords, they had Sikhs, which is kind of like a mini version, like it's kind of a hybrid between a sword and a dagger. It's like a combat dagger basically, that's what it is. Like a dagger like designed for combat. And they're pretty common. You could say it's like a civilian type weapon, if that makes sense. And yeah, let's kill some bandits. We were lucky to have the Lord with us though, because we've got a huge army with us now. And I don't have anything to block with. Yeah, that's the thing about Sikhs, they can't block. And I want to kill him because I want the experience, but I'm gonna get it stolen, unfortunately. And we won! So yeah, I captured a ruffian, and I got his shit. That's how this game works. You capture them, you take their shit. And, well, let's see, we've got short staff, that might be handy. Just simply for the range. We also have a fusty barless, which is, it's a thrown weapon, you throw stuff at enemies. And basically you start with really simple, straightforward weaponry. Like this is to protect your head, and there's also a pitchfork, but a short staff is apparently better. So I'm gonna go with that. And here we go. Got the help of the army again. So, but now we have a short staff, so we can hit enemies at longer range. But yeah, this game really starts slow, especially Viking Conquest. Like, if you're playing the other modules or the other versions like native, you do start off with some pretty crappy equipment, but you can gain access to the basic equipment pretty easily if you keep playing for a few minutes. Like, it doesn't take long to acquire better equipment, but if you're playing Viking Conquest, like, it takes a while to get some really good equipment, because like the best equipment in the game is like basic weaponry in native, so you really have to, so it does take time to get strong in this game and get some decent weaponry, because the weaponry you get at the start of the game is pretty bad. So we've got another ruffian. Somehow we can hold several of them by ourselves, which makes no sense, but whatever. But yeah, we've got some money, and that's important because now we can recruit people. And yeah, this is I think he's the king of the area. And yeah. And here we have 4 thieves. And he's going to help me again, which is really nice. I might actually join the priests at this rate because they're actually being helpful. Aha, yeah. It's weird because... yeah, I don't know why, but... doesn't seem to want to put rocks in the... that is odd. Not sure how to do that, but yeah, you can throw stones at people, as you can see here. But yeah, it takes some time to get hold of some basic weaponry, like, well, to get hold of some decent weaponry, because the equipment that you start off with in this game is pretty shit. I mean, if you're lucky, you'll probably get a spear or something. That's if you're lucky, like if you're a landowner and you're fortunate to have good weapons. Sometimes you can get an axe as well, but like, we didn't really get much. But we got some more loot, so that's something. And we got a shepherd's crook. I'm not sure how good the shepherd's crook is on its own. It's not as good as the short staff by the looks of it, which is a shame. but yeah, we're going to just take the money that we got from them, and yeah, let's go to Dorestad and sell it all. So trading's a big part of Mount & Blade, because it's the best way to make money at the start of the game, because there aren't really many ways of making money in this game. There are some good ways of making money, but they're very few and far between at the beginning, so what I want to do is sell as much as we can and make some cash, so that we can recruit some volunteers. Okay, there's also the meat hall. You can go visit all these places. Now, in case you're wondering and you've never played Mount & Blade before, you can stroll through the town. So you can basically go through the town and you can explore if you really want to explore the town and go there and yourself. So really the exploration in this game, it's not just a point and click like you're there sort of thing. You can actually explore the towns themselves. So don't be confused when you see the menus when you enter town. It's like it's not like a menu. Towns aren't a menu screen in this game. Like, they're not. You can actually explore them, and I mean, if you want to. Sometimes you'll need to explore them, but you don't have to explore every time, if you know what I mean, because the whole menu allows you to skip the whole exploration, which can be very handy. But I'm just going to find a building just to show you as an example of how the exploration works in this game. Like, this game isn't like Skyrim or Gothic 3, well, it's not like Gothic 3 in the sense that you don't have the open world, because it's all top down. But that doesn't really bother me, because you still get to explore somewhat. You get to have some areas in which you can explore, and strangely enough, like, a lot of people might be turned off by this, but the game actually immerses you. It's one of those games that at first appearance it might not look immersive, but it really can get immersive as you play on. So yeah, it's pretty good. But yeah, I can't find where something is. Like, for example, there's certain areas which you can, like, this is a port, is Dorestad, so you've got like the water, and you can also sail ships from here at the dock. Like, there's a lot you can do in towns, and there's a lot that you can do in this game regarding towns, like, but at the start there's really not much we can do in towns. It's mostly villages, especially if you're not a noble. Like, it's a bit difficult. But what we need to do is find a building we can shop in. But there are shops around. There's a physician. You can use these guys to heal your wounds. And horse merchant. Horses are expensive in this game. It's not like in other games. Like, a lot of things that are like normal and easy to come by in Mount & Blade Warband Native are really hard to come by in Viking Conquest. Like, they are really expensive. Like, if you want to buy mail armor, it's going to cost you an arm and a leg in this game. Like, it's not like in Native where you are basically, you can get hold of some decent armor early on as long as you kill a few bandits. In this game, it's a bit different, because like armor, like mail armor is kind of end game. It's kind of really late game armor, and weapons like swords are like, they're like end game weapons. So like, if you have a sword, then you are really rich. Like, it costs like usually thousands of peningas, that's the currency, by the way, thousands of peningas to buy a sword. But for some reason, it's actually cheaper to buy a two-handed axe or an axe than a sword. And axes can be kind of handy in some ways, but swords have better range. So if you want a like mounted combat weapon, I would probably recommend a sword over an axe, because unlike in Native, it's kind of more realistic in the sense that you can use two-handed weapons on horseback. So there's that. And yeah, there's there's a bit more limitation in terms of weaponry in this game, but they, as I say, they do add some new weapons like the Sikhs, which I'm using now, and other things like basically you can go into different buildings, and since I can't really find the building that I'm looking for, I'm basically going to end up going into the fort unless this is a building that I was looking for. Like, every town has a merchant for the most part. For some reason, not every town has an armourer. I don't know why, but just something I noticed. But maybe it's down here, I don't know. But yeah, I'm just basically showing you the exploration of the towns in this game. There's a lot of exploration in this game in terms of towns, but there's basically not a lot, but there's a bit. So the whole idea is that the game isn't just like you do it on a menu and you can connect to different places in this. It's not like you just explore this, then you go back to the menu, then you go to another thing. If you know where all the places are, that is, like, as you can see right now, I don't know where all the places are. Another thing you might notice, since this is set in the Viking era, is that a lot of the buildings are very basic, like wooden shacks. Like, this is a town. If you're playing in native, then you'll be seeing huge, like, stone buildings and stone fortresses and castles. No such thing in this. This is before the medieval era, so... But it's kind of the beginning in a way, or it's the Dark Ages, if that makes sense. For those who aren't native to, like, the Northern Europe and Scandinavia, or, like, Britain, this is basically the Dark Ages, if that makes sense. In the sense that people didn't have castles and huge mighty stone walls. People had weapons like Sikhs, which kind of lost their usefulness later on because swords became more common. And yeah, I don't even know where the fort guy is, but I think I've explored town enough. Yeah, you can trade with the locals on the menu as well, but yeah, I'm going to head back so I don't waste people's time. So yes, there are a few things you can do in Viking Conquest, like you can actually do some labour, like manual labour, and yeah, screw it, I'm gonna 1 versus 5, because why not? It's not too difficult to fight ruffians because they don't really have good weapons, but if they have spears, things are gonna get rough. You really don't want to mess with enemies who have spears in this game. Spears are very deadly. They are probably the most deadliest weapon in the game because they have long reach. Now, fortunately, I have a polearm in the sense that I have a staff. I also have rocks, but I probably won't use them unless I can because they're probably coming close in. They're probably coming close to me right now. Here they are. Right. So yeah, it's 1 versus 5. So it's a bit unfair, and I already took a serious injury there, and I still can't hit any of them with the rocks, so that sucks. Okay, it's not the easiest game to start playing, but like the short staff is probably the best weapon for me at the moment. But it's good. It's good for practice in a way. Like, I set the campaign AI to low. I always do because, well, not the campaign AI, but the combat AI because, well, yeah, if you don't, then this game's going to be very, very hard. Like, probably one of the hardest games you'll ever play if you don't. So yeah, but you can really customize the difficulty. Oh, that guy was... And yeah, the whole thing that I got hit with that rock there, that's wounds, if that makes sense. And you can get wounded in this game if you're not careful, and basically they can permanently decrease your stats. Now this is a realism feature which you can turn off, but I turn it on because fuck it. And yeah, I got one. And I might be able to get some prisoners. And now they're running away because they fear me. Yeah, I really want to use this because the Sikhs can't block, so it's not very useful, whereas this weapon can block, so you can deal with them a lot easier. And yeah, we've got one, and the rest of them are running away, so you have to hold them. But yeah, I'm exhausted right now, so chasing after the enemy is not easy. But yeah, this guy's a coward, and once you kill enough of them, they will run away. But ultimately, what you will want, because this is a very small fight, what you ideally want to have in this game, and in all Mount and Blade games, is you want an army, because the bandit parties just get larger and larger from here. Like, I've seen bandits with like hundreds and hundreds of bandits, like, in one huge army, which is ridiculous. But yeah, I've seen that before, so it can get a bit chaotic if you're not careful. But yeah, I've just got wounded. Sling rocks, that's what I want, because it works with my fusty barless, which is going to be handy. But since I'm wounded, this is the interesting thing. And ambush defense, this isn't good. It's funny really, because I just wanted to do this fight. It might even get me killed, but screw it. Yeah, the Fusi Ballas kind of works like a crossbow which shoots rocks, whereas the sling kind of functions as a bow that shoots rocks. They're kind of like basic weapons before you have bows, and like, whereas a Sikhs is kind of like a basic weapon before you get a sword or an axe. The Fusi Ballas is the basic weapon before you get a crossbow, and I should really be using this weapon. And he's down. Yeah. So that's the end of the ruffian. We win, and we get to take him, but we get to take his shit, which is handy. Pitchfork. That's got some nice thrust to it, but I'll keep with what I've got for now. We've made a little bit of money, but we're going to also have to sell some stuff to make some more money. So we want to trade with the locals and sell all of our stuff. Now, in case you're wondering, bread, food, that's for when you have troops mainly. But you also consume food yourself, so... Oh yeah, they're full of shit, so I can't really do anything. But yeah, we can go to the weaponsmith and buy a weapon if we want to. Like, we can buy a battle axe, a balanced seeks, which I don't recommend buying that. You can also buy a broad seeks, which is kind of like a longer version of the seeks. I can show you what that means. You can see the holster is a lot longer, but it's still not good because it can't be used to block. One thing that you can buy, and probably one of the cheapest, most effective weapons in this game, is the long axe, particularly the long battle axe. If you can get one of these, really handy weapons. But I'm probably thinking maybe, because I'm trying to specialise in polearms, a long spear would be nice. That would be really good. Polearms are nice if you have a shield though. If you don't have a shield, they are kind of limited. But then again, you actually have a little bit more freedom when you have a shield, so it's not all that bad. We also have a torch, which I don't know why you'd need one, but yeah, you can use it at night time, I suppose. Yeah, the thrown spears are very powerful in this game. They are extremely powerful in this game. But so are spears in general. Any form of spear is really powerful. Like, I could get a balanced like long spear, which is slightly stronger than the war spear, but the price, yeah, and that's only in terms of swing. So I think I'm going to buy a war spear. That's going to be pretty handy. Maybe, I don't know. But then there's this, which I don't know. It doesn't seem to want to show any of my equipment. That's my equipment. It doesn't want to show it. Don't know why. But for some reason it doesn't show when you have a spear. sometimes that happens. But, like, if you have flying spears... Oh, it doesn't show them either. That's odd. But it will show a long axe. And the broad seeks. But I don't really want to use that. Army standards are interesting. They are interesting. I was about to say, army standards are really good, but I'd say interesting is probably the best way to describe them. Because, like, increases morale during battle. I think that increases movement speed, but they have a really long reach, which is pretty cool. I think ultimately I'll stick with the war spear, and I can't really afford a shield, so I'll just keep a Seeks and this, because a war spear is going to be better than a short staff, so I'm going to equip it. And yeah, it'll be handy. So now what I want to do is I want to go to Gorham West, I guess. Let's kill some more thieves, screw it. Although I do have to be careful here. But it's good for building up my morale, I suppose. The good thing is we have a bridge. That's quite handy because they're more or less not going to be able to surround me as easy, so... Yeah, they're all coming from over there. But yeah, this is our first proper weapon, which we have a war spear, which is kind of nice. And yeah, you can use it to swing, you can use it to stab. It's very good at stabbing, so... I tend to not care too much for spears, personally, but spears are really handy if you're looking to be a tanky type character. Like, but I'm using the Juicy Ballast at the moment, but I'm going to use a spear in a minute. This guy is going to use a short staff, and yeah, I have an instant advantage with this weapon because it's very powerful and it's worth getting, especially if I want to stand a chance against these guys and have a decent weapon. And yeah, spears are cheap, but they're not the most efficient weapon compared to swords and axes, but they are quite long, so they can deal with cavalry pretty easily, and you can jump stab, which I kind of missed there. And yeah, we kicked his ass. But there's another guy over here, and he's using a Juicy Ballast on us, so we have to be careful. So yeah, I'm gonna just stab him a few times, see if I can... And yeah, we killed the ruffian. Oh, by the way, if people are talking, I forgot to mention this, because I can't exactly pull out the chat. This is kind of like a test. So yeah, that's something... I apologise if you are chatting in the chat right now. Like, I can't even see the chat, so yeah, I wish I could, but I can't, unfortunately. But yes, so the stream is working, and I'll basically show it later on. But yeah, if you are in the chat, then do check out my later streams, because I will be talking with you all then, because I'll be able to see it, particularly the ones on my PS4. So yeah, but because this is on the oh whoops, I didn't actually want to do that. But yeah, because this is on... Oh, actually, I might actually be able to sell all these. And maybe buy a salt. And then I can sell it at the town and make a profit. Might be a good idea. There's some more thieves over there. But yeah, consider this like a live Let's Play at the moment. I apologise for the inability to leave comments because of the way the streaming works. I suppose I could check to see, like, if there are any comments. Oh, I've lost money, great. That's wonderful. Just what I like to happen, losing money. But I can keep that salt and maybe use it later. But yeah, I'll have to, I can see if there's anybody, because this is, that's that. There we are, that's the test streaming, so that's what I did last time. I'm going to have to see if I can, yeah. I'll tell you what, I'll try and do this a different way, so I'll try and experiment with this and then I'll come back and continue the stream later, so see you guys.